Hi, welcome to Common Core, Pre-Chapter 1, Part 1. We're going to do these and put them in quick 5 to 10 minute segments to make them easy to see and easy to understand. If you don't follow something, please feel free to run it back and watch again, or also feel free to take notes as they will be used for your homework and you can use them for questions for the next day. Let's begin. The first thing we're going to start with is putting together multiples. And what I mean by that is if you have a line of multiples like this, 3 times 3 times 4 times 4 times 4, I'm not looking for what this multiplies into. I'm not looking for a giant number. Instead, I simply want to combine these into groups. So I simply want to know how many 3's I have and how many 4's I have. Well, it's clearly not too big of a problem there. We can see there are 2 3's and 3 4's. And what I want you to do is we're going to stack them side by side. So I'm going to put the 2 3's together over here, the 3 4's together over here. The only thing is I'm going to use a term called an exponent to count how many numbers there are. In other words, because there are 2 3's, what you do is you put 3 squared, or 3 to the power of 2. Now, what you want to do here is you put the base number, which is what we have, which are 3's, on the bottom. So that's the 3. How many there are goes in the upper right-hand corner, which is an exponent. So 3 to the second power is the same as saying 3 times 3. In the same way, 4 to the third power would mean 3 4's. All you have to do to finish it is don't forget that since they're all multiplied, these here represent 3 times 3, and this represents 4 times 4 times 4. Don't forget a little times in between to combine all things together. Now you go ahead and try. And when I do a you try, what I want you to do on a separate sheet of paper is to go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and attempt these problems here, problem 1 and problem 2, and when you have them solved, go ahead and unpause the video and see if you have what I have. Go ahead and pause it this time. Let's see how you did. We're going to go ahead and take example 1 here, and if you notice, we have 2 4's and 3 5's. So you have 4 squared times 5 cubed. And over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 2's, so it's going to be 2 to the 4th. And there was 3 7's, so it's going to be 7 to the third power. Now we're going to do this, a thing called prime factorization. Prime factorization is simply breaking down a number into its smallest parts, just like a Lego toy breaks into smallest pieces. As you see here, all these parts of these Legos will turn into an X-Wing fighter. And if you don't believe me, we can actually take a look here at brick set, and you'll see all the different pieces you would need to combine to make said Lego X-Wing for Star Wars, if you're not sure what that means. Back to what we were doing. Well, prime factorization is like this. Take the number 24. While I can break 24 into many multiples, such as 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, I'm going to start by using a factor tree. I know, not your most favorite thing, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and I think we'll be fine. You take 24. Now, any one of these I could break into and start with 24. It doesn't really matter what I break it into first, so I could pick any one of these. Just make sure the number is still multiplied to make the number above it. In other words, make sure that 4 times 6 multiplies in 24, not add. Also, don't put one with just a 1 in the number because you're not going to break anything down that way. So try to find numbers that don't involve just a 1. You want to be larger than that. So 24 breaks down to a 4 times 6. Then you break down the 4 and 6. So you're like, okay, the 4 breaks down to a 2 times 2. And the 6 is 2 times 3. Notice how you can't break the 2's and 3's down any further. There's no number other than 1 that can make those, therefore they are fully broken down. That is prime factorization. Prime factorization breaks down a number into its smallest parts. So 24 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. The only thing we have to do to finish it is put 2 cubed times 3. So again, that would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And why, you ask? Because 2 times 2 times 2 makes 8, and 8 times 3 would make 24. You try. Go ahead and try each one of these. Try 60 and then try 72. Break them down to the smallest parts and then attempt to go ahead and put them in exponents. Go ahead and pause it this time. Let's see how you did. We'll go ahead and take 60 here. I chose 6 and 10, but you might have done something different. You might have done 2 and 30. You might have done 4 and 15. Whatever makes you happy. Anyway, when you break it all down, what I get is once I get 6, I get 3 and 2. 10 makes 5 and 2. Notice how I have two 2's, so 2 square, a single 3, and a single 5. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is going to be 12, and 12 times 5 is 60. So these 4 parts, I'm counting this as 2 because there's two 2's. These 4 parts make 60. And 72, you get 6 and 12. 6 breaks into 3 and 2. 12 makes 3 and 4. 4 busts into 2 and 2. So you have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 to the third power, and a 3 times 3. Notice how I don't include a 4 here because the 4 got busted into a couple 2's. Remember, I'm taking these smallest ones, which are right here. I'm not worried about this because this was already used. It already got broken down. Moving on. First, we're going to need to review the order of operations. Now, this is part 2 of what we're doing. The order of operations are as follows. There are 4 levels. The first level goes first, second goes second, and so on. So the first level is parentheses. So anything that involves parentheses gets to go first. Also, besides parentheses, you could use brackets or absolute value. Any one of these 3 things get to go first. Number 2 is exponents, which is x squared. After parentheses, any exponent gets to go. Then multiply, divide gets to go, and then add, subtract. Now understand that multiply and divide are equal, so whichever one comes first, left to right, gets to go first, and the same with add, subtract. Now you might have heard the term please, excuse, my dear Aunt Sally. Don't really mind it, but if you use that term, just remember that multiply and divide are on equal terms, as well as add, subtract. For example, 4 plus 3 times 2. Well, you start with saying, well, the plus was level 4. The multiply was level 3. Since it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, level 3 goes first. So you take 3 times 2. 3 times 2 makes 6, and now you have 4 plus 6, and 4 plus 6 equals 10. Here's another one. 4 times 2 plus 2. In that same way, because this is in parentheses, 2 plus 2 goes first, which makes 4. And then you would have 4 times 4. Because remember, even though multiply is bigger than a positive, multiply is level 3 and plus is level 4. Because this is inside a parenthesis, that automatically makes it level 1. So level 1 stuff has to go first, which is what's inside the parenthesis. Okay. If you have more than one of the same level, remember you just go from left to right. So if you have 8 divided by 2 divided by 2, the first set goes first, which will be 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Then that becomes 4 divided by 2, which makes 2. If you did it the other way, notice how I get the wrong answer. Had I taken the second pair, which is 2 divided by 2, I get 1. And then 8 divided by 1 would equal 8, which is not what we're looking for. Go ahead, try these 4. 3 plus 2 times 4, 8 times 7 plus 4, 4 times 5 squared plus 2, and 3 times 4 plus 2 in parentheses. Now for the third one, remember that 5 squared equals 5 times 5. All right, let's see how you did. No, I'll do it with you. So what we'll do is, this is level 4, this is level 3, so this goes first. 2 times 4 is 8, so you have 3 plus 8, which equals 11. Here, multiply comes 4 plus, so 8 times 7 is 56, plus 4 is 60. Here, 4 times 5 squared goes first to make 25. Then 4 times 25 makes 100. Finally, you plus 2, and you get 102. Finally, 3 times 4 plus 2, while times does go before a plus because it's inside of parentheses, 4 plus 2 makes 6. And now you have 3 times 6, which makes 18. Hopefully you got all 4 right. If not, please go ahead and go back in the video and take a look again. Moving on. Some skills practice. We'll go ahead and try these here. 12 divided by 2 plus 4 equals 4 times 5 squared plus 2 cubed minus 3 equals 5 times 4 minus 6 equals, and 60 minus 8 squared minus 4 equals. Go ahead and pause at this time and resume once you have them. Let's see how you did. Taking a look here, the first answer was 10. The second was 105. The third was negative 10. And the fourth was 0. How many did you get right? And finally, some extra practice. These ones here you're going to see again, so you might as well do them. Remember that when you see brackets, that just means a second set of parentheses. They usually put brackets just to emphasize that it's an outside parenthesis. What you would do is, just like the target of an arrow target, you're going to shoot for the middle, so the guys in the middle go first, and as you work out, then the next one go, then the next one go, then the next one go. So in this case here, you do 8 divided by 4 first, and once you do that, then you do the stuff inside this parenthesis, and finally the 6 comes to an end. Go ahead at this time and give both these a try. Pause and unpause when you have them. Let's see how you did. Dropping down, you have 26 plus 9 times 6 plus 3 minus 4. These two combine to make a 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 26 plus 81 is 107, and then 107 minus 4 is 103. This one here, we do the interior first. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 3 plus, now you might say, wait a minute, there's a parenthesis, so how do I do that? Well, in this case, since there's nothing on the inside, you could actually even remove the parentheses because there's no more to do inside. So you can just take, okay, 3 plus 2 is 5, and then 5 minus 1 is 4. Finally, 6 times 4 is 24. At this point, I don't care if this is a bracket or if it's a parenthesis, it all means the same thing. And that's the end of part 1. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to rewind the video again. Rewind, how old am I? To go back and see the video again. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks again. Bye.